Hey guys, it's Mr. C here, and in this video I'd like us to factor the following expression: 8x cubed minus 125. Alright, so notice that we are subtracting two terms here, so it is a binomial. There is no power of 2 involved on the variable, so that's a sign that we don't necessarily need to factor with the difference of two squares formula. As well, there's no GCF, okay? What I want to point out is that there's kind of a difference of two cubes expression here lingering around. And let me go ahead and prove that to you. First of all, you can write the first term in the expression as 2x quantity cubed, okay, because when you cube 2, you get 8, and when you cube x, you obviously get x cubed. And you can actually write 125 as something to the power of 3, and that something would be 5. In other words, 5 cubed gives you 125. So written that way, we can see quite clearly now that this is a difference of two cubes. And of course, we need to know what our expression for A is and what our expression for B is. And that should be evident in this rewrite as well. Our expression for A is 2x, and our expression for B is 5. All right, so with that said, let's go ahead and set up two sets of parentheses, the second set being a little longer than the first set due to that formula. Oops, sorry about that. Okay. And of course, to help us set up the signs, we could use the acronym SOAP. All right, in the first set of parentheses, we should have the same sign as what's being presented in the original expression, so a minus. The first sign in the second set of parentheses is the opposite sign, so plus. And then the last sign is always positive. All right, the AP part of SOAP. Now let's go ahead and fill in the rest of these spots in the sets of parentheses. My little trick is in the last video to help us with the expression in the first set is to just imagine these 3's going away. We see 2x minus 5 left over, and that's exactly what's going to go inside the first set of parentheses, 2x minus 5. What's going to go first in the second set of parentheses is a squared. All right, so a squared means a times a, or in this case, it's going to be 2x times itself. That should give us 4x squared. The second term in the second set of parentheses is what you get when you multiply a and b together. So if you multiply 5 times 2x, 5 times 2 gives us 10, and of course, x is going to be tagging along with it. And then the last term in the second set of parentheses is b squared. Now our value of b is 5, and when you square 5, you get 25. And that's the factored version of 8x cubed minus 125 using the difference of two cubes formula this time. I do want to share with you something that I was thinking about to help you with the expression that goes inside the second set of parentheses, because that's not really all that intuitive. So I got this crazy idea. I was like, oh, you know what? Maybe we could make like a little Punnett square sort of thing to help us with those three terms that are inside the second set of parentheses, and actually either of these two examples. So here's what I mean. Right below here, I'm going to draw a little square. And the square is going to be broken up into 2 rows and 2 columns. And what I'm going to put on the outside of the square are copies of A and B. So at the top of the square, kind of like leading column 1, is going to be 2x, which is our expression for A, and then 5 for the second column, which is our expression for B. And I'm going to do the same thing to just kind of border the left side of the square. And much like a Punnett square or a multiplication square here, we're just going to multiply, these expressions together to fill out the square. So for example, in the first box here will be the product 2x times 2x. 2 times 2 is 4, x times x is x squared. So we get 4x squared. Continuing in the top row, we next multiply 2x to 5 to get 10x. In the bottom row, we multiply 5 to 2x to get 10x for the first column there. And then for our last box, or the second column in the second row, 5 times 5 is 25. What you need from this set of boxes here is this part, or these three items. All right, because it's exactly those three expressions that fill out the second set of parentheses. So 4x squared is what we saw right there. Positive 10x, or just 10x is our second term in that second set of parentheses. And then 25 is the last term in that second set of parentheses. I'll illustrate this again using the first example. Draw a little box here. Let's write x and 3 on the outsides, and we'll just multiply everything together. So in the upper left-hand corner here, x times x is x squared, and then x times 3 is 3x. And for the bottom row, 3 times x is 3x, and 3 times 3 is 9. The only items you'll need from this, though, are x squared, 3x, and 9. All right, notice x squared is what led off the second set of parentheses. And then the next term we wrote out was 3x, and then the last term we wrote out was 9. All right, making the box here, the multiplication table, is not a requirement, but it may be helpful when you go to fill out the second set of parentheses when using either the sum or difference of two cubes formula. Hey, it's just something I thought of, and if it helps out, awesome. If you don't like it, you don't have to use it. But either way, if you have any questions about any of these videos that I presented, of course, feel free to reach out to me and I'll be more than happy to help. Otherwise, I really appreciate you guys watching the videos and including these in the Major League Factoring booklet. All right, thanks again, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.